we negotiate for wage improvements, working conditions, perhaps a retirement plan for you, improvement in medical benefits for you. So everybody, every worker in the United States has a right to join a union. And you should join a union if you want to. There's ways to do it, and there's a process in place that has been set up by the National Labor Relations Act, and those processes are governed by the National Labor Relations Board, which is a government agency established to monitor union elections and certifications. And it starts with a show of interest. There's got to be at least 30% of workers at any given workplace to show interest in unionizing. So generally, if a person, a group of workers want to unionize, it starts with contacting the Teamsters, contacting Local 665, talking to a business agent, and working with that agent to start that process. And the process generally starts with filling out NLRB approved authorization cards, union representation authorization cards. It's very simple. It's name, address, phone number, the company you work for, and what your job is. You have two choices: either just mail it with no cost to you, no postage stamp, to the union, or somebody is designated from your work group to collect them and to provide them to the union agent. Then the union will contact the NLRB, the Labor Relations Board, and present these cards to the board agent. The board agent will then contact the employer and notify them that there is an interest in the employees joining the union. Then an election date is negotiated between the NLRB, the employer, and the union. And it's generally, it could be as many as 6 weeks later, an election is conducted at the job site. And during that 6 weeks, there's both sides have an opportunity to campaign and convince you one way or the other whether to join. The election date is established. The members or potential members come to the location and cast a vote. Hopefully they would vote union yes and vote by simple majority to unionize. Once the NLRB certifies the election outcome, the union will meet with these new represented employees, talk to them about negotiating a union contract. After meeting with the members, the union and the employer begin to bargain over a labor agreement and come to terms. Those terms are then presented to the members and voted on. If the contract offer is rejected, the union goes back to continue negotiations. Then they would come back to you for another vote. Once the contract is ratified and accepted, then the employees at this location have now the ability to sign up and join the union officially and are then members. So if you are interested in joining the Teamsters Union, call our office and we'll be happy to talk to you.
What do you negotiate for? What's the?
So we negotiate for wage improvements, working conditions, perhaps a retirement plan for you, improvement in medical benefits for you. So essentially it's wages, hours, and working conditions. That's essentially what we negotiate over. And perhaps what's known as a grievance procedure and a disciplinary procedure.
What are those? Grievance and disciplinary?
So disciplinary procedure means under a union contract, the employer cannot discharge you without just cause. And the union would negotiate a disciplinary process, meaning you can't just be discharged at will. The company has to have just cause to discharge you and provide what's known as progressive discipline, meaning they have to give you verbal warnings, written warnings, possibly suspend you before they discharge you. And if they don't follow that process, the union can then file a grievance and protest any discharge to win your job back through grievance and arbitration procedure. And those things are negotiated into a labor agreement as a means for the union to protect you at your job.